For those of you who don't know me, my name is Avil Beckford. I started a series recently called The One Problem. There are lots of problems in the world, but what I want you to focus on is just one of those problems you can talk passionately about for 5 to 10 minutes, so you don't have a lot of time. So I am going to be talking about a problem that's dear to my heart, and it's that enough professionals are not reading enough to learn. Now, I've got some feedback, and people are saying that two things why they don't read more books, and that's because they don't have the time or they cannot focus. I have a solution which will address both of those problems, or you may call them a challenge. So, and what I'm going to say is only for nonfiction books. The problem is that publishers have word counts, so sometimes authors add in extra information to satisfy the word count. Now, why should you be reading all that extra information? So, the way you never take up a nonfiction book and start reading from cover to cover. No, you don't do that. But before I talk a little bit about that, there's some things you need to do first to prepare yourself. So the first thing is to write a one sentence purpose for why you want to read a book. And that is important, right? Because that keeps you focused. The second thing is that you prepare your mind for reading so that you'll absorb the information from the book. The way that you do what's called brain gym exercises, which connect both sides of the brain. So a quick way to do that is to jump up and do some jumping jacks, do about 10 of them, maybe some marching band, and that will get the juices going, the creative juices going, and the blood pumping. Okay, so you have done that. So you have the book the nonfiction book you wanna read. So what you do, you read the introduction, the preface, the foreword. You scan the index to see what you pay attention to the terms and phrases with the most references, because that tells you what the author thinks is important. So you want to get a sense, that's gathering intelligence. Now you look at the table of contents, which is the most important section. So you look at that and you put a check mark beside the chapters and sections that you want to explore further, okay? And then you flip through the book to look at the pictures, because it's been said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So that's what you want to do. The next thing is that you go to the sections and chapters that you flagged, and that's the sections of the book that you're going to pay attention to. Now, I want to say something, okay? You read as much of or as little of the book that you need to read, okay? It doesn't make any sense for you to rush through a book and not understand what it is about, okay? So I usually set a timer for an hour and I do these things. Sometimes I may have to add a little bit time. Sometimes I have to, I don't need as much. Like this morning, I was reading a book from Rep to Manager, and Ray Green had done a short review on it. So I went through it and I needed less than an hour. Half an hour was enough to get the goods from the book, because there was no fluff in this book. It was about 50 pages and that's it. So I could get through it quite easily. So just think of the book, what you need to get from it, what problem are you going to use the information to solve, and then you read as much or as little as a book that you need to. So the information that you're going to make note of when you're reading the sections you marked as important is what I call essential information. Essential information is information that aligns with your purpose for reading the book, information that answers any questions you may have about the topic, also any kind of information that would allow you to solve any problem, cut costs, increase revenues. That's also essential information. So now you've read the book and you have your notes. The next thing to do is to review your notes a few times. And what you're going to do is to pick out some big ideas. Now, the big ideas would be similar to essential information. So just think about, information that can solve a problem. So you pick out your big ideas. Now you have your big ideas. The next step is to make them into bigger and better ideas. So you look at all your ideas and you start combining them. Okay? What makes sense? Sometimes it's obvious and sometimes it's not so obvious. So you spend a little time doing this. These techniques work best when you're doing it with more than one book. So this is a problem I wanted to talk about, and this is my solution. I hope that it was helpful. Thank you and have a good day.